Fantastic stuff. Well done, guys. You're doing really, really well. So now we've reached that part of the sales enablement process where we're actually looking to uncover that elusive thing called your value proposition. Now, value proposition is something that we bandy that term around a hell of a lot. And do we really understand what it means? So just for a moment, I want you to introspect and I want you to think about what is it that makes your organization different? What is it that makes your organization's products stand out from those of your competitors? So what we're really looking to do here is we're looking to unlock your value proposition. Now, please understand that yes, of course, the organization is where the main value proposition originates, but don't ever forget that you are responsible as the individual who connects what your organization does to what your customers need. You're the individual that is responsible for getting a really deep understanding of what your organizational value proposition is, and most importantly, how you can actually utilize it to connect your customers' needs, values, and expectations to something that is going to help them to actually change their state, or in other words, put them in a better position after buying from you than they were in before buying from you. So what I want you to do is I want you to really wrestle with the concept, because ultimately once you understand how to connect your value proposition to what your customers need, what they value and what their expectations are, it becomes really simple, or should I rather say it becomes a lot easier, because integrating into your customers' businesses is never an easy process, but it's a crucial process. And if we look at the evolution of sales, we understand sort of back in the 70s, it was all about manipulation, and it was all about trying to get a deeper understanding of how to manipulate customers into closing single transactions. And then as sales developed and we went into the 80s, it became more a case of getting an understanding of what solutions, or in other words, what challenges were our customers experiencing, and how could we connect what we can do to how to solve those challenges. In other words, it was all about solution selling. And then when we moved into the 90s, things really started moving in the right direction, and we had a whole lot of customers who were expecting us to come in and solve their challenges, but more importantly, they were now looking to build relationships with their suppliers, where it was a mutually beneficial situation where they would pay money and get something in return. In other words, get a solution, get the right solution. And then as times evolved, and I think you'll be well aware of this, markets have definitely changed. I mean, that business cycle is right down to 10 months and soon to be 9 months. And the crazy part is if we're still doing business the way we were 10 months or 9 months ago, are we still doing it right? So this is where I want you to really dig into those creative juices. Think deeply. What is it that makes your organization unique and special? What is it that will help you to integrate into your customers' businesses? Next, I want you to understand that once you get that real understanding, that deep belief in your value proposition, you are able to create an unforgettable customer experience. Now, remember, it costs 6 times as much to acquire a new customer as it does to retain an existing customer. So you wanting to create the most amazing experience for your customers so that in the long run, you're never going to lose one. More likely than not, you're actually going to have the opportunity of them recommending you. In other words, referrals. If you really get it right, you could actually sit in your customer's office and they could pick up the phone, call one of their connections and edify you. In other words, they could show or rather transfer the trust, the relationship that they already have with you to the new prospective customer. So think deeply about what is it, or should I rather say, how can you really integrate into your customers' businesses? How can you wow your customers on an ongoing basis? And remember, once you understand your value proposition and you understand your role in creating a narrative or connecting your value proposition and your organization's value proposition to that of what your customer needs, values, and expects, closing sales become simple. And not only closing sales, but should I rather say opening sales, where you look to build long-term, meaningful partnerships with your customers. So really invest the time here to dig deep, to uncover what is it that makes your product unique and special. What is it that makes your product stand out? Because if you can't clearly define, if you can't clearly create an amazing narrative around what your product can do that your competitors can't, guess what happens? Customers default to price.